Huge Movie Fanatic Nate reporting on February 18th, 2014 with a nice little batch of winter-themed solo movie reviews for you. Now originally I had planned to do these sometime in January, but then Matt came out of the, I was going to say out of the closet, but he came out of the woodwork and contacted me after like a 6-month hiatus. So then we proceeded in January, as you are well aware, to do a batch of normal reviews, which were pretty fun and a long time coming. So now, since there's only pretty much 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, of winter left, yes, I thought I'd do what I was originally going to do and do a batch of winter-themed movie reviews. The first one I'm going to start with, of course, you already know because it's this video is titled it, is Adam Green's Frozen. Now I don't know what year this came out right now, but obviously the title of it says Frozen 2000 whatever, so not to be confused with Frozen 2013. Now, I've seen 2 Adam Green movies, Hatchet and Frozen, and I'm not an Adam Green fan. I got Hatchet I think for $3 at Half Price Books used years ago, and was disappointed. I was excited about the idea of Hatchet, and its tagline was like old school horror or whatever, and obviously that was right up my alley, and I was disappointed. This isn't a Hatchet review, I guess, but to make a long story short, I was disappointed with Hatchet, and I have not seen 2 or 3, or I think there's only 3, right? I shouldn't say only, I should say there's 3, dun dun dun. But this is a review for Adam Green's Frozen. Now this movie I actually bought, just blind buy, pretty much I think when it came out on Blu-ray. Now I think I got it brand new, like right around the time, possibly its week of release. I want to say it was $10, brand new. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was. Regardless, I don't know what I paid, but I want to say it's $10, but regardless, I blind buyed it because the trailer looked interesting to me, and I like to have a few of these movies. Now, it should be noted that these winterish movies, I don't generally at all like to watch obviously anytime through May through October, because you don't want to, personally I don't want to watch a cold-ass winter movie, you know, when it's summer, because I don't want to think about it. Living in Minnesota, I don't want to think about the winter. So generally, I'm kind of anal this way. Generally, I only watch these kind of winter-themed movies, if I watch them at all, in the winter. I'll save them for the winter because I don't want to watch winter movies in the summer. So I saw this originally when I bought it, and then I think for the second time, within the last, I don't know, month or so, I was rewatching some of this stuff because obviously I had planned to do these reviews. And I was pretty impressed with it when I saw it the first time. I mean, compared to Hatchet, it's a complete, you know, jump up. And my feelings, having seen it, you know, a month or so ago, again, having re-seen it for a second time, haven't changed. I'm going to go 3 stars on Frozen. Now, it's a movie that when you tell someone the premise of it, it's kind of like, yeah, these people are trapped on a ski lift chair for 90 minutes. I mean, it's like, what do you do? But amazingly, it doesn't really slow down, or at least for me. The trick when you're doing a movie like this is to obviously come up with all kinds of little things and this and that and all kinds of stuff to permeate the running, you know, the duration of the movie to keep it interesting. So it's like, oh, this doesn't work, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try this, oh, I broke my legs, oh, I got eaten by the wolf, okay, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to pee in the chair, my face is going to peel off, so it's a constant barrage of new challenges or new attempts at getting the hell out of that situation. So at the end of the day, I was pretty impressed with Frozen. Now it starts with, you know, the very beginning, before they actually get on the ski lift, it starts with kind of like the more annoying, more traditional, you know, young person banter, and, you know, like the 2 assholes. I think one of them's the girl is kind of, I think it's her first movie and she's kind of cute, but one of them is the girl's boyfriend, and the other guy's just the friend of the guy. And it starts with some of that little, you know, young person banter and all this and that. But once they get on, this ski lift and stuff, and it stops, it actually becomes, a lot more serious. And it's funny because it's a movie that's like one of those like open water, which I am going to review this spring or summer. Check, be on the lookout for Nate's open water review. Very much the same thing, where it's like very, 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 very simple, where as a viewer you're going through everything in your mind, how to get out of how if I were in that situation I'd get out of that situation. Or you want to tell this, tell the people on the screen, do this, when you jump, don't just jump, flap your arms like wings, and maybe you'll break the fall a little bit instead of having your knees literally break the fall. So it's one of those movies where you're watching it trying to think, what the hell could they do? Because you want to outsmart the movie maker. And it is one of those really simplistic open water kind of movies that's just, it really just tears at you, because there's really nothing, maybe I'm dense, but I really couldn't think of anything else than they thought of. And sometimes it depends on how it's executed, but generally, I mean, if it's executed well, I'm perfectly all for a movie like this. And the one thing I want to say is the they have to have everything laid out so it's like it's feasible. Like I can't remember exactly, but there was like 3 people. The guy who let them on the thing said, okay, there's 3 more people coming down, and then 3 people came down just by chance that weren't them. And then the guy who took over his shift said, okay, well, he said 3 people, I'm going to close it down. So you have to, as a writer, Adam Green, I think he wrote it, had to come up with all that stuff of how it ended up that way, which was, more or less convincing, and more or less work. But the really cool thing for me, it was like yada 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 before, but then when it really started to get good, first of all, I do this a lot where I was going on one thing and I do this. The opening credits, I think, is kind of cool, where it's just like there's actually like a camera attached to this big, chain or whatever that goes around the gear. So it's kind of like Sam Raimi in that aspect of just being like. And I really like how the first shot opens, where it's like just, I think, just this big shot of possibly, I don't know, the mountains or the ski resort or whatever, and then it's like frozen, and I don't think there's any music. That I really like that. But what I was going to say before was where it really started to get good for me is when they were on the ski lift and it had stopped, and they were like yada yada yada. It's kind of like, I think it is night by this time, and there's a really cool shot where it's like, crane shot, and the shot goes over like this, so, and stops, and so they're in the left side of the screen, and then like you can see the chairs or whatever go back in the background on the left side on the right side rather, to the the building or whatever. But anyway, so then the lights are like way back towards the building, and the lights are shutting off, and they're approaching them, and that was really, when that part happened, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. And from then on, the movie kind of had me. So 3 stars for me for Frozen. Adam Green's Frozen, not Disney's Frozen. I would recommend it. Possibly it's on YouTube. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. But I'd recommend it if you like to watch. If you live in a freezing part of the world like I do, and me and Matt do, and like to watch these kind of frozen, cold ass movies. During this time of year. It's one of those movies like Final Destination where there's no antagonist other than, I guess, the wolves. And Kane Hodder, of course, he's not wearing a hockey mask. He's just driving like the snowcat, and it's just like, I wonder how much he got paid for that. Oh man. Wonder how, yeah. So anyway, to make a long story short, Frozen. Thank you very much for watching, and stay warm.